What if I told you that most of the biggest decisions in your life aren't actually made by you? That sounds strange, but think about it. The way you spend money, the people you become friends with, the goals you chase, even the things you believe are often shaped by invisible forces you've never stopped to question. These are the hidden rules of life. Nobody teaches them in school, yet they quietly determine who succeeds, who struggles, and who feels fulfilled. Today, we're uncovering 7 hidden rules that can completely change the way you think. Your brain loves shortcuts. Imagine walking through a grocery store. You plan to buy bread and milk. 20 minutes later, you're leaving with snacks, drinks, and things you never intended to purchase. What happened? Your brain is constantly trying to save energy. Instead of carefully analyzing every decision, it relies on mental shortcuts. Companies know this. That's why products are placed where your attention naturally goes, and why limited-time offers make ordinary items suddenly feel urgent. The lesson? Don't assume every decision is fully rational. Sometimes you're reacting instead of thinking. The more often you pause before making choices, the more control you gain over your own life. Small actions become your identity. Most people believe they need massive motivation to change, but real change works differently. Imagine 2 people who both want to become healthier. One says, "I'm going to work out every day for 2 hours." The other simply says, "I'll do 10 push-ups every morning." After a month, the second person is far more likely to continue. Why? Because consistency creates identity. Every small action sends your brain a message about who you are. Read 1 page every day, and you begin to see yourself as a reader. Save a little money every month, and you become someone who values financial security. Big transformations almost always begin with tiny habits repeated over time. Comparison steals happiness. Social media makes it seem like everyone else is living a perfect life. Perfect vacations, perfect relationships, perfect careers. But you're only seeing their highlight reel, not their struggles, failures, or doubts. If you compare your everyday life to someone else's best moments, you'll always feel behind. Instead, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Progress, even if it's slow, is far more meaningful than winning someone else's race. Time is your most valuable resource. People spend hours trying to save a few dollars, yet they'll waste entire afternoons scrolling without thinking. Money can be earned again. Time cannot. Every hour you spend is a piece of your life you'll never get back. This doesn't mean you should never relax. Rest is important, but be intentional. Will my future self thank me for how I'm spending this hour? That one question can completely change how you use your days. Most fear exists only in your imagination. Think about the opportunities you've avoided: applying for a better job, starting a business, learning a new skill, talking to someone new. Usually the biggest obstacle isn't reality. It's the story your mind creates. What if I fail? What if people laugh? What if I'm not good enough? But here's something interesting. Most people are too busy worrying about themselves to spend much time judging you. Fear grows in imagination. Confidence grows through action. The first step is almost always the hardest. The second becomes easier. The third starts to feel normal. Your environment shapes your future. Imagine placing an ice cube in a hot room. It melts. Place that same ice cube in a freezer. It stays frozen. The ice cube didn't change itself. The environment changed it. Humans work the same way. If everyone around you complains, avoids responsibility, and gives up easily, you'll slowly begin doing the same. If you're surrounded by people who learn, improve, and encourage growth, your own standards naturally rise. Your future is heavily influenced by the environment you choose. Choose wisely. Success is usually invisible. People notice the championship trophy. They don't notice the thousands of hours of practice. People admire financial freedom. They don't see years of saving, investing, and saying no to unnecessary spending. People celebrate overnight success. They ignore the decade of quiet work that happened before anyone was watching. Life rewards consistency far more than intensity. Doing the right thing once is easy. Doing it hundreds of times is what changes everything. The world's biggest achievements are usually built from ordinary actions repeated long enough. So what do these 7 rules have in common? They're invisible. You won't find them printed on a diploma. Nobody hands them to you when you become an adult, yet they quietly influence almost every decision you make. Your thoughts shape your actions become your habits. Your habits build your identity, and your identity creates your future. The good news is that once you recognize these hidden rules, you stop living on autopilot. You become more intentional. You make better decisions. You focus on what truly matters. You stop chasing quick fixes and start building a life that improves one day at a time. You don't need to change your entire life today. You only need to make one better decision than you made yesterday. Because a better life isn't created by one giant moment. It's created by thousands of small choices that nobody notices. Until one day, everyone notices the results. If you found one of these hidden rules useful, think about which one applies most to your life right now. Sometimes one simple realization is enough to completely change the direction of your future.